To ensure adequate water supply for the country, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources will establish a Water Resource Management Office. Max Gaspi fills us in with the details.
To ensure access to safe drinking water from the country, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, will establish a Water Resource Management Office. During a multi-sectoral meeting at Malacanang, President Marcos Jr. accepted a proposal to establish the new office. Marcos asserted that this is why the Water Resource Management Office's mandate must be strengthened to bring them all together so they can all follow the overall plan. The President proposed that the WRMO's first action be to reduce the country's reliance on groundwater and deep wells while also managing surface water supply. According to the Presidential Communications Office, an executive order will be drafted to allow the National Water Resources Board, Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System, the Local Water Utilities Administration, and other DENR water-related agencies to collaborate on water management programs through the WRMO. The WRMO will report to the DENR and will serve as a transitional body until the creation of a Water Resources Department, which is one of the Marcos administration's top priorities. For Golden Nation Network, this is Max Legaspi.
Moving on, the improvement of literacy and numeracy programs and the integration of peace competencies will be some of the priorities of the Department of Education, or DepEd, in making the K-12 curriculum relevant to produce job-ready, active, and responsible citizens. Vice President and Secretary of Education Sara Duterte noted that the department will revitalize its reading, science and technology, and math programs as part of the Matatag Bansang Makabata, Batang Makabansa agenda. Duterte also highlighted that DepEd will embed the culture of peace in the curriculum, which would be vital in ensuring learners would lead the promotion of peace and order in war-inflicted areas. For Senate updates during the first public hearing conducted by the Committee on Banks, Financial Institutions, and Currencies in Senate, Senator Risa Hontiveros observed the low penalties to be imposed on appointees to the Maharlika Investment Corporation who will engage in graft and corruption under the penalty provisions of the proposed Maharlika Investment Fund, or MIF. The senator pointed out that the low penalty provisions under the proposed MIF seem to be ridiculous and inappropriate, since billions of pesos would be involved once the bill is passed into law. The senator cited that under the MIF, if an appointee will engage or violate the law, he or she will only be fined 100,000 pesos to 1 million pesos, and a director or officer who will tolerate his graft and corrupt practices will only be fined 500,000 pesos to 1 million pesos. Meantime, in order to increase agency responsiveness, the new Department of Social Welfare and Development Secretary Rex Gatchalian says that the country's logistic arrangement for relief operations needs to be revised. JC Ogaire for the full story.
Newly appointed DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian claimed that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and he shared priority in addressing climate change and its implication for disaster relief for impacted families. He said that DSWD will tap more third-party private logistics companies to transport goods as they can do it better. The roughly 20 tropical cyclones that hit the climate-vulnerable Philippines each year are unpredictable now because of climate change. Gatchalian used the poor weather that Eastern Visayas has been experiencing since January 2 as an example, which has affected over 1 million citizens and claimed the lives of several people. For Golden Nation Network, this is JC Ogaire.
Consequently, following Rex Gatchalian's appointment as Secretary of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, the House of Representatives declared that it will choose a temporary representative for Valenzuela's 1st District. In order to decide who should be named interim leader, House Speaker Martin Romualdez stated that he will consult with Gatchalian and the Nationalist People's Coalition, or NPC. Additionally, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, and the National Capital Region, or NCR, local government units, or LGUs, have started working closely together to establish a partnership in the execution of the distribution of livelihood grants under its Sustainable Livelihood Program, or SLP. According to the agency, the DSWD organizers are seeking the involvement of the Metro Manila LGUs because of their critical role in the initial validation of the list of eligible and interested beneficiaries from their respective jurisdictions. The department highlighted that its NCR field office would carry out additional validation and livelihood assessments among the list that the LGUs had approved. The SWD further mentioned this as part of the program, SLP participants are expected to go through a series of orientation and skills training. For lower house updates, the House of Representatives endorsed the House Bill 6718, or the Freelance Workers Protection Act, on second reading, proposing a safety and wellness program for freelance workers. The measure covers providing mandatory hazard and night shift differential pay for freelance workers. These benefits shall be included in a written contract between the employers and the freelancers. Pangasinan Representative Christopher De Venecia, who penned the bill, said it is high time to approve the measure to provide safeguard and beneficial services for the freelance community. Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla guaranteed prompt action in response to reports of a group selling online services to Chinese nationals to have their names removed from the Bureau of Immigration, or BI, blacklist in exchange for a high charge. This information was revealed by an anti-crime organization as a Senate Public Order and Dangerous Drugs Committee hearing that exposed reports about the new modus. Movement for Restoration of Peace and Order chairperson Kak Wen Chua stated that they discovered advertisements spreading on Chinese social media sites claiming to remove people from the immigration blacklist for a sum of 1 million pesos to 5 million pesos. Chua further mentioned claims that police officers are guarding dens of iniquity, particularly those in Cavite and Pampanga. Meanwhile, authorities denied the allegations. Up next, a news force. Canadian government seeks for finalization of defense cooperation deal with Philippines by June. Philippines ranks 116th in Global Corruption Index. PBA legend Terry Saldana dies at age 64. Stay tuned for more stories and reports when News Force returns.